My world theater tradition is Rakugo. So some background information on Rakugo. It's a form of traditional Japanese theater that has been entertaining audiences for centuries. It was derived by Buddhist monks who wanted to preach in a more lighthearted and engaging way, first being developed around the 9th and 10th centuries. Because these monks wanted to change their sermons and draw more people in, the humorous elements of Rakugo are a central theme of the theatrical performance. According to JapanWonderTravel.com, Rakugo was popularized in Japan during the Edo period in the 17th century. It was a popular form of entertainment for the common people and was often performed in the streets or at small venues. Today, traditional Edo Rakugo is centered in Tokyo, whereas Osaka modern Rakugo has become popularized worldwide. The original purpose of Rakugo was to provide a lighthearted escape for people from their everyday lives. It's a form of comedic storytelling that involves a single performer who sits on a cushion and uses only a fan and hand towel as props. Theater plays an important role in Japanese culture as it reflects the country's rich history and traditions. Rakugo, in particular, has become an important part of Japanese popular culture and is still performed regularly today. Traditionally, Rakugo is performed in a small, intimate space called the yos, which is seen here. In it, you can see the space is designed to create a cozy atmosphere that allows the performer and audience to connect on a personal level. According to theconversation.com, Rakugo is performed by a solo performer known as the Rakugoka, which is this one right here, which are traditionally males until a sudden surge of female Rakugokas. But you can see the performer uses a variety of vocal techniques and physical gestures to captivate the audience. The Rakugoka must both be skilled in storytelling and comedy. A Rakugo performance typically involves a single performer telling a humorous story. The story usually revolves around a simple plot or everyday situation, but the Rakugoka uses comedic timing and exaggerated expressions to make the audience laugh. These performance materials and narratives can often be pulled from historical texts and fables that teach the readers aid. Readers and narratives often can be pulled from historical texts and fables that teach the readers a message. Nippon.com states, the material for the performances is generally based on farcical comedy or warm-hearted human drama, incorporating typical characters from Edo, the former name for Tokyo, or Osaka. There are still storytellers today who specialize in the classic Rakugo anecdotes, first told in the Edo period, which have been passed down from master to disciple through the years. Over time, Rakugo has incorporated to evolve into modern themes and ideas using more modern set design and construction of the yos, while still maintaining its traditional aesthetic. Today, audiences can enjoy a wide variety of Rakugo performances, from classic stories to contemporary interpretations. Audiences can expect to be entertained and amused by a Rakugo performance. The intimate setting and humorous storytelling create a warm and welcoming atmosphere that allows audiences to relax and enjoy the show. In terms of production elements, Rakugo relies on the skill of the performer rather than elaborate sets or costumes. The content of Rakugo performances vary widely. Most involve comedic storytelling. JPF.org.au cites that stories may be traditional or modern and may address a wide range of themes and issues. Rakugo performances typically take place in the evening, although they can be performed at any time during the year. They may also be performed at specific events or festivals throughout the year. Physical conventions of Rakugo include the use of voice, body language, facial expressions, and gestures to convey the story. The performer must also be able to engage the audience and bring the story to life through their performance. Rakugo is a unique and entertaining form of traditional Japanese theater that has captured the hearts of audiences for centuries. Its intimate setting, humorous storytelling, and skilled performers make it a must-see experience for anyone interested in Japanese culture and theater. SeattleTimes.org cites Rakugo as Japan's classic comedic storytelling style, creating a full cultural package containing entertainment, history, and art appreciation. My chosen theater convention drawn from Rakugo is miming with the props, like the fan of the towel, to the body. In a Rakugo performance, the single narrator will commonly lay these props to the side and pick them up when necessary to help better communicate and visualize the story for the audience. Once done using the fan to demonstrate a certain action, they will often leave it off to the side on the floor near their feet as they change either scenario or characters, often facing the other way to signify a difference. This allows for a smooth transition and can allow for one prop to be used multiple times, while still avoiding confusion on what the fan represents at the given moment. Narrators must creatively use the fan along with their own acting skills to give the fan different uses, such as here where Matthew Shores uses the fan as a pipe from which to smoke tobacco folded up. So you can take the fan like this and it'd be in a folded position to represent a long object. By folding up the fan in different places, the shape in which the fan takes can help represent the object being depicted. The convention of miming combines gesture, body language, and physical levels to create a sense of humor and drama. The performance elements I honed in on were manipulation of objects, pace of rhythm and movement, and use of body language. In my exploration and attempted mastery of this convention, I used a number of techniques. I researched a number of Rakugo performances and saw all the ways the hand towel and fan can be used, from a lightsaber, like this, to an umbrella, to the fan, or you can use my makeshift towel as a wallet or a flag of surrender. When attempting this myself, I came across as stiff, especially compared to the videos, and couldn't correctly flow with the rhythm of the made-up scenario to match my action with the fan. I found it difficult to come up with creative methods using the object, and my imagination stalled when I mimed with the fan the first time. To become proficient in the convention of miming with the fan and towels, I devised a plan and structure. First, I chose to stretch out my arms and hands with exercises, since these are the main body parts used, and legs aren't used in Rakugo. I then had to tackle my creative deficiencies when it came to using the fan and towel in different ways. Principles in drama games revolving around pantomime were the main things I used. The chair improvisation game done earlier was used, where a number of scenarios are presented, and each chair must be used differently every time. The game is the same concept using the fan and the towel creatively, but just with the chair, such as this one. Additionally, emotions can go along with just using the prop, opening my eyes to different interpretations that can be drawn from using the fan in a number of ways. Thanks to this, I made sure to make my performance of using the fan to mime the object as clear as possible, making it so obvious that interpretation is limited. For example, I would paint the picture of a restaurant and mention food in my narration while using the fan as a fork, saying, "Wow, the steak is so good." So I would take the fan and hold it like a fork. And I have a plate in front of me, and I'd paint the picture. And I would take the fork as like a knife right here, and then you take the fork and you go, you eat it. Yep. In Rakugo Kagurumine, called Jugemu, the performer uses the towel folded to act as pages in a book opening and examining. After rewatching her clips around the 12-minute mark, I attempted to recreate this in the mirror with the towel. The towel would often lose shape and become deformed of my more violent and rough movements. After practicing, however, I managed to be more fluid in the handling of the book, while also using the rest of my body to convey the audience that I wasn't examining a towel, but rather a book. As I continued to explore different methods of miming with the fan and the towel in Rakugo, New World Encyclopedia mentions that the presentation and style of Rakugo has changed very little since the 18th century, but modern storylines have been adapted. Therefore, I researched traditional performances of Rakugo, utilizing this performance convention, and chose the very popular Japanese folktale of Jugemu, which has been performed for thousands of years. The specific performance I chose is called Jugemu by Kanria Eiraku by the Canary English Rakugo Company on YouTube. I'll show a clip here. All right. So it's around the 7-minute mark. It's only a couple seconds, but you can see how he uses the towel as a book, and then he uses the fan as like a writing utensil. And he's in the same position with the pillow, like a traditional performance. And you can see his transitioning of characters and prop usage being fluid, turning his head left and right, and demonstrate this. Once he's finished with the props, you can see that he puts the book back down and continues to acknowledge it as a book rather than recognize it as a towel. I asked for advice and was told to focus on the expression and vocal tone to captivate the audience along with the convention. Working in tandem, the best way for me to proficiently mime with the props was to use my dialogue and limited seating action. So I would take a chair and sit down, and then I would take the book, using it as a book the whole time, have it seated next to me, and then unfold it, and then I would grab the pen, dip it in, and write down, using my body language to express this. And then after I'm done with it, close it, lay it off to the side like I would with a book, and pull a pen.
In my practical exploration of the performance convention of using the fan and towel to mime props within the context of Rakugo, I've experienced significant growth and development as a performer. The exploration has not only enhanced my understanding of the specific convention, but it's also contributed to my overall development as a performer. First, studying the practice of this performance convention allowed me to delve into the complexities of physicality and nonverbal communication. With the help of the fan and the towel, I learned to convey various objects, activities, and feelings through physical gestures and movements. This required me to be very aware of my body language and subtle nuances of movement, which enhanced my physical expression up on stage. Thanks to this, I developed a better sense of body control and spatial awareness, which are essential skills for any performer. In addition, this research made me think creatively and imaginatively. The fan and towel act as versatile tools, representing a wide variety of objects, which requires me to think outside of the box. It not only broadened my creative problem-solving skills, but encouraged me to take risks and try different ways of storytelling. By pushing the boundaries of my creativity, I found new ways to engage audiences and capture and deepen my connection as a performer. In the future, I can apply creativity and use a certain prop in theater multiple ways, especially in a scenario where I may have a limited number of props and can only use what's available. There will definitely be times in the future when props won't be available, and I could have to use, for example, a cane as a number of things, such as an umbrella or a lightsaber or something else. Additionally, my research into Rakugo as a traditional form of Japanese theater has given me valuable insight into world theory as a whole. Rakugo, known for its comedic stories performed by a single artist, has rich history. By researching and studying various Rakugo performances, I gained a deeper understanding of the art form and its role in Japanese society. I learned the subtleties of timing, rhythm, and the importance of delivering comedy in Rakugo performances. Things I have gained can be applicable to many other performances, not just specifically Rakugo. I can find ways as an actor to connect with my audience by making direct eye contact if allowed, and opening up my action to direct towards the audience, keeping them engaged. If placed in a musical, the rhythm and timing is vital for successful performance, and my actions need to complement the emotion of the music. An example could be when a slow track is presented, and I have to use props and move slowly to show a gloomier mood. Additionally, my research on Rakugo highlighted the power of storytelling as a universal human experience. Despite the cultural differences, Rakugo performances still share basic story elements such as character development, conflict, and resolution. This deepened my understanding of the universal nature of theater and its ability to transcend cultural boundaries. It also reinforced the idea that theater serves as a platform to share different perspectives, fostering empathy and building bridges between different cultures and communities. Rakugo can connect to many other different theater performances, not just limited to traditional theater performances. Many comedic storytelling solo theater performances exist and share similarities with Rakugo. One of these, monodrama, is a direct relative of Rakugo, since there's one actor who acts as multiple characters. In the same way Rakugo uses one performer, the Rakugo, changing personalities and directions to represent the multiple characters. Modern day examples are also everywhere, including standard stand-up comedy, where comedians can even act and use props to complement their jokes. In conclusion, my practical research on the use of the fan and the towel as a performance development in Rakugo, together with the study of this traditional theater tradition, contributed greatly to my further development as a performer. It improved my physical expressions, improved my creativity and problem solving, and deepened my understanding of theater in the world. Through this study, I grew not only as a performer, but also as an individual who appreciates the different forms of theatrical expressions.